Ready? I get some of the burdock out of Earl's tail. He's been going outside during the day. And there's a spot out there with some burdock, so he's getting into that. Anyways, I wanted to show you what I did to the stalls yesterday. Gonna do. I got this solid wall here. I was afraid that Duke, as he gets bigger, he'd push this wall out. And then I have boards here, and I took that all out of there so that they can get more light, see the other horses better. So I like that. So I want to take Earl for a little walk today and show you the progress he has made. If you remember, Earl was the one that we had so much trouble loading onto the trailer, and then we had so much trouble loading onto the scales. And we've been working with him, and he seems to be coming along pretty good. On it? It's another cold morning this morning. Okay. Zipper.
Because of the troubles that I've had with Earl early on, I have spent a little bit more time working with him than Duke. But now that he's coming along, I got to spend more time working with Duke. So I've been doing a lot of single work with these horses. In other words, just taking one horse at a time. And I like to go into different spots, so quite often I will walk through the sawmill. There's always something different going on, a different piece of log on the sawmill, and it's just all different every time we go in here. So it's good for the colts to get used to all this different stuff.
Oh. Yep. Oh.
I figured that'd be a good place to take a leak.
He's done this 2 or 3 times, right here in the sawdust.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
You feel better? Right there. Oh. Right there.
So as I'm leading these colts around, I intentionally stop them quite often, haul a hoe, and then ask them to go again. I believe it's been 3 weeks now since I got these colts home, and they are doing great, but I did have a stretch about at the 2-week point where they had been doing good, and then all of a sudden they just started doing bad. They just balked right up on me and did not want to walk at all. And this was mostly after I was starting to work them alone. I would just lead one at a time, and they worked good for several days that way. And then they just realized I don't have to go. So they would just stand there, and I had quite a bit of trouble. I lost my temper one time and got after Earl a little bit, which I wish I hadn't, but it just happened. And maybe it's just as well anyways. But then I went for a stretch with having Justin help me, and he would help as we led him in the mornings, and he'd walk behind, and he took the whip and never had to really more than just touch them, and then they'd start again. Half the time he didn't use the whip, he just used his hand, and if he just touched them, they would start walking, and then they were fine. But that's generally the way it works so often with colts in training. After a short period of time, they kind of go backwards, and they start getting better again, and right now they're in a good stage. They're doing great. So now I'm going to lead Earl up onto the porch. This is the 3rd time I've done this. He hesitates a little bit, but then he does come up on. This is an awful lot to ask for these young colts to do, but I feel it's very important. I want these horses to trust me, And when I ask them to go somewhere, even if they're really scared, I want and expect them to do it. And if they put complete trust in you as their boss, they will go wherever you want them to go. When I'm logging, I always feel that one of the hardest things for a team to do is back down a hill. And I just really enjoy it when they actually will back right down a hill on the cart for me. It just tells me that they really trust me to not put them in a place where they'll get hurt.
Come here. Come here.
When we were kids, I remember having a pony, and I'm surprised my mother let us do this, but we would take that pony. We had a kitchen door on both sides of the kitchen, and we'd lead that pony right through the kitchen, right through one door and right out the next. I asked Brenda if I could do that, but for some reason she really didn't want me to do that with her new floor and all, so I let it go at that. Actually, with that pony, we didn't lead her through the kitchen, we rode her through the kitchen. We used to ride horses a lot as kids.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Earl wants a seat too.
Oh.
Careful, Early. Good job, Earl.
So these horses have gone from not knowing anything and hardly been handled to leading pretty well in these last 3 weeks. But it's been a lot of work. Almost every morning and every night I will take them for walks. And of course, by watering them every day and leading them out of their stalls for that helps also. A lot of times my walks are very short, but I do try to do it twice almost every day. So here we are coming to my horse trailer, and like I've said in other videos, I will have them go into the trailer a lot in this training process. So we open up the door and lead him right in.
Here. Okay. Oh. Pepper. There.
I'm so glad I have all these barns that I can work these colts in. That way on rainy days and windy days I can still give them their lessons right inside the buildings.
Oh. There's the progress that Earl's made. Duke's been doing pretty good too. Okay, have a good day.